defensive side, Geekay will kick things off on the attack. And we'll see just how attacking they can beat him.
I'm going to repeat, I had a conversation with Titan before we came into the games today. I'm going to repeat what I said about Geekay. I think they've been fantastic so far. I've tweeted about them a couple of times. It's always a play. We love an underdog, and, you know, watching them come through and get those upsets has been brilliant. I've got a little bit of a feeling. Obviously, they lost to a very good G2 side yesterday. I'm not just saying that because you're here, Titan. But I feel like they either qualify now or they might struggle, if I'm honest. Once they get into the best of threes on the last day, a lot more pressure than maybe they've seen so far in the tournament. I just think for them as a team, it'd be much better to just get the job done here and now, beat loss, and go through.
Talk to me about these bans, because we've had two of the nade operators taken away here, ones that haven't really been banned yet this competition.
This is actually quite interesting. Obviously, by doing this, and depending on what the defender bans, why am I going here from Geekay? Teams are going to have so much less in terms of explosives, or lethal explosives if you could describe it, to be able to actually clear things. Finker and Gridlock, key operators for this map, just because of the grenades. As simple as that. Now what it leaves you with is Nook, Sledge, and Galaz, I believe it is like what your operator pool is if you want to take grenades. They're not exactly your mainstays. Nook is the easiest one, so is Sledge, but you normally bring these operators outside of these entry positions. So with those both gone, could be a bit interesting to see what we have here.
We'll see how it plays out as it goes along. I think I'll look forward to not seeing Trax or hearing that sound effect multiple times around, as we're so used to seeing Gridlock being on nearly every single lineup. Just so valuable, so diverse in terms of what she brings to a lineup. But it does mean things like the Blitz. I'm not going to say it's going to get locked in here strictly for Geekay all the way through to the end of attacker repick, but Blitz has been really popular on this map.
I mean, it's an operator that can give you the ability to full clear the map. It's same as a Monty, but you just have that bit more explosive power with it. And to be honest as well, when it comes to just fighting, or for example on the basement side, you can either drop the hatch, you can go blue with the Blitz, you could go through laundry, you could even drop freezer hatch. You have so much versatility with that operator, especially on a basement bomb site. And looking at what Lost have, it's a pretty basic default setup. Maybe Dots is somebody that's going to be off on their own, but again, you can see, I think Geekay will actually stick the Blitz if they're smart about this, and they're either going to use them, I genuinely think they'll use them for blue here, sort of like late round in terms of the...
Well, given his drones there, it does suggest it.
Yeah, I'd suspect so.
To keep an eye and see if we have that bit of a rush into elbow, that rush into site. There's the Dokkaebi on site as well, which could potentially support it. Interestingly, yeah, Loss are going to be up on that mid-floor, opening up the hatch. Looks like cameraman, or at least somebody, is going to have to firm the holding meeting. If they've opened the hatch, they certainly can't give up meeting. They've got a bit of a presence up in attic as well, so Loss definitely going for that full clearance here. And as you say, Geekay, you know, maybe not going to have that rush option. I guess it depends how many are out in the map.
Cam, by the way.
They're going to have to use the Blitz one way or another.
Free cam use has just got stronger and stronger as the competition has gone by, so big shout out to the observing team for that.
Yeah. I don't think they'll be looking for a rush necessarily. I think the Blitz is just more for the explosive factor late round, so that they can actually just overwhelm the elbow position. Yeah. But what's quite interesting, I'm not sure if this is what Loss's normal default is, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think what they're going to go for is try to provide different problems to Geekay. Try to see if they can actually problem solve on the fly and how they can do when it's things that are just a little bit outside of the norm. And that will probably be a very big part of their game plan today to be able to win the game against Geekay.
It feels like really you've got Noodle planted inside of construction here, waiting for that call that blue is the way to go. And sure enough, we've got 2 or 3 players all stacking up on this side of the map. As you can see here, the outlines coming on through. Flores drones rolling on through at the same time. Otherwise, it's trying to decide exactly where the other players should be basing themselves here, where the backstab potentially comes in. And Leader, for example, is coming down through laundry.
That mirror window provides a little bit of an oh damn moment, especially as Lobin now gets the first pick onto Leader, who was trying to clear the other side of the map, and they're just getting shut down outside of blue as expected, with the mirror window being there.
Absolutely crushed by it as well. I mean, now the Blitz will try and make its march on forward in behind the smokes, but the timing has been a little bit off here, and they have paid the price. Flashes out the mirror, but won't win out in the gunfight. It's a very convincing first round from Lost. They get a flawless to kick things off on Oregon here, Tim.
Yeah, great start from them, and this is it's round 1. I'm not getting carried away yet, but this is why I've been concerned for Geekay coming in today, and this is why I said, you know, maybe they need to get it done now sooner rather than later, because there comes a point where, yep, they've done fantastically well, but let's not forget all these teams have now had days and days to start reading into this team. You know, they've got Leader and Noodle in there, so they're kind of having to, you know, work on probably quite a quick basis here at GK to be prepared and ready for this. You know, with they're not stand-ins as such, but you know what I mean, with those new players coming in. So it's going to be a tough one for them, and if Loss have got the read on them, which they seem to be pretty well prepared for them there, and maybe they don't have that plan B, plan C, plan D that you might like as a Siege team, it could turn into a tough day for them.
Curious to you on Titan, obviously you've got a usual here as well, right? When G2 have gone to tournaments before, and obviously you've been with the roster a while now as well, when you see them going through a spot of coming up against a team like Cyclops are a great example. They first came onto the scene and surprised loads of teams. They were horrific to play against, but people started to figure them out over time. As the tournament goes by, are you looking at these difficult teams and saying, look, there's definitely a key to figuring them out here, but it's buried in all these maps you need to now sit down and analyze? How do you approach a difficult team like GK?
Kind of. You sort of look at what maps that you believe as a team that you fundamentally are going to be very, very strong on, and then also at the same time, you're going to review how they play. Is a map super crazy that you're like, actually, it's not worth it? Is there something that they have like massive repetitive patterns? Maybe it's even just a simple case of, actually, this map, they have some fundamental flaws with it. They're able to win against certain teams because they're weaker at it. Or you just even look at it as a regional basis, for example. And I think this is where Lost have gone and banked a little bit on the regional basis. Oregon is very strong for Brazil. And then on top of that as well, if you just look at the way they're holding things, it's not completely out there. It's not so crazy, sort of like in a different world, but it's slightly different. It's stuff that GK won't have faced that often, probably. I doubt very much Lost will have scrimmed GK whilst here at the event, so it's just a bit of quirkiness, a bit more different. They're just trying to catch them out.
Default with a twist.
Yeah, exactly. And that's all it needs to be for a team like GK to maybe throw them.
At the minute, GK just working on that Armory and Master side, looking to get themselves established inside of there. They've got the Thatcher over there, they've got the Rotero drones, they've got the hard breach, everything that they need to get that game's wall open. Cameraman was off playing down sort of in the dining area, and he'll be flexing into kitchen as well, but looks like that position's not going to see too much pressure, as at the minute, GK are pretty one-dimensional here.
I mean, it's just a heavy master push. They can see that it's a turtle setup. They've got the Thatcher on the board. They've got the ace. They can get what they want in terms of the walls getting open. Now the question will be, can they get into a position to be able to get a bomb down, or can they clear anybody out with early kills and then just be able to flood the bomb site?
Well, Trophy was given away quite early as well. When the shield was gone, they were just like, yep, that's it. Took a second player inside a pit. That's going to be our angle to hold.
Beautiful.
Dots have been holding onto that C4 for a good 30 to 45 seconds there, waiting for someone to step inside, and has found an absolute freebie there. Well lined up, and clearly one they've gone through a few times in dry runs.
Yeah, just I think as soon as you get the Selma charge on pit wall there, you know that there's likely going to be somebody around ready to challenge that angle. Hasham challenging an angle though, manages to pick up the low bin. Absolutely beautiful to level things up at 4 versus 4. 2 of Lost are still looking to play underneath. There's only a Nitro in the hand of Dash, so still could have that sort of explosive denial if he gets himself down white stairs, but for the time being, he's just holding, looking for that angle towards Trophy Door, just preventing any flood coming in from GK.
Lost have two games planned here. That's it to win this round. It's either an execute-based denial, so they kill them as they try to walk in, or they're going to try and retake Trophy here. Now, the Cade has already used the C4, so the Trophy retake is going to be mega hard. And as you can see, it's going for the denial on the entry of the bomb site. Leader already down on probably the games breach. They're going for the attic backstab, and they can't get it.
It's a lot of 1v1s being taken, and sure, Hasham might win his, but immediately he's traded out by a cameraman at the bottom of white. We had Trix trying to work his way in through Trophy, you had Leader trying to work his way in through the breach, and as you say, none of those things have worked out. It's 1v1 after 1v1 after 1v1 for Lost, a very comfortable second round.
I think what Lost have realised, and what they probably studied a little bit of yesterday with us, is if you play simple Siege to an extent late round, and you make sure that you have your crossfires, you've got your fundamentals, you've got your basics set up, you've got your power positions, GK will struggle. Because for them, it's so hard. When you haven't scrimmed a lot, when you haven't got all these solutions already pre-planned, and you're having to do everything on the fly, it's so much work for somebody like Leader, for example, or it requires then hero plays or solo plays or massive explosive plays from individual players to be able to then break through. But as you can see, first 2 rounds, Lost play relatively default, couple twists, little meeting hold, a little bit of a heavier sort of showers hold and sort of dining hold, and from that, Geekay go, okay, right, let's try and do our normal takes. The first round, they had no answer. They tried to force blue. There's a mirror window there. Their plan gets shut down. Here, again, okay, right, let's try and go for a master clear because we have Thatcher, they have Cade, they're playing it very safe. But how do you clear the players from their positions? They're not going below, they're not trying to nade them out. They're trying to rely on basically just peeking into the bomb site and winning their ones. There's no actual problem solving in terms of removing players.
I mean, we've seen this from teams in tournaments gone before as well, and, you know, this is, again, what leads me to say what I've said about GK, that, you know, they need to get qualified sooner rather than later, because as the tournaments go on, I feel like teams have got 2 responses to a team like GK that come in and do the unexpected, come in and maybe, you know, play a little bit differently, you know, and sort of throw that spanner in the works for teams. You can either try to play into it, which I think is often and almost always the wrong thing to do. You think, right, we need to come up with something crazy, we need to do something different, we need to surprise them, when really a lot of the time the answer is, no, we just need to play our game. We just need to play good Siege, you know, and just give them problems to solve. We just need to do whatever our setup is, be confident in it, and force them to do something about it. Because inevitably, like you say, you know, sometimes the depth isn't always there in the strat book kind of thing. And I think that's what we've seen in the first couple of rounds. Like you say, Lost just not doing anything special, just doing the basics very well.
Trying to really overload Attic here as well. They know there's a player that was dug inside. Dots, he has got out of Attic. Had the soft ball behind him as well. Has got himself onto top tower stairs. Lobens wants to start things off again. Noodle, really at this point, it's only Hasham with a kill on the board, and that does not look to be changing. It's another dominant start for Lost here, Titan.
I mean, again, they're about to be 5v2. No, Leader gets the kill. This could be putting it back on a 3v3 with a wall bang there. It gives Geekay a chance. Tricks getting into the Frostmat, unlucky there, buddy, but going on, they have now a chance with 3v3. They have top full control, they can work and execute, they can try and take what they want. They're now going to assess, can they get meeting control, can they get dining control, or kitchen control? What they haven't spotted is the guy in tower, I don't believe, or coming back through Attic. That flank could be crucial from Dots. They never cleared him out, they never managed to get rid of him.
That's exactly what I was about to say. They know that they forced him back, they had nades on, they had drones on, they know the Azami is somewhere, but they're not really 100% where, because they're down to almost no drones as well. To some level, it's playing a little bit blind into this one. You've also got Maya, who's been sat inside showers for the longest time, not really playing on site, playing just off it, but in a very, very passive angle, and Tricks might spot him out here.
Geekay using the time well. They're on the drones, they're aware of the clock, they know that they don't need to be rushed. Dots, as you picked him out, was going to be the problem, wasn't recognised, manages to get himself into dining, get aggressive, and find a kill that hands the lead once again to Lost. 3 versus 2 now inside the round. Tricks low health, trying to push Attic, but again, Lost are well aware of this stuff. They know where the danger is going to come from. Cameraman's trained and ready, and it's as easy as that. Dots and Cameraman pick up the final 2. That's going to be another round to Lost. 3-0, and they're running away with it.
I mean, that round, Lost didn't even have to do anything really quirky. Nothing funky, nothing even just remotely different or difficult for Geekay. What Geekay can't find right now is a way to catch teams out. They have no solution to the basic problems, and this is the issue with Oregon. It's such an execute-based map. See if we can hear Aloe, what do you say?
Not to hear anything Lost is saying, that's for sure. But not at least an understandable level.
We're not adapting in the mid-round enough. We're just not doing anything in the mid-rounds. It was the same issue yesterday. It's like we have a good opening like phase of the round, and then mid-round we're shit.
Say it how it is, Noodle.
Anything, don't make any plays.
Yeah. I think largely aligned with that as well. I mean, the one thing I was going to say is what I really respect out of Lost so far. We have the blessing of a top-down as well, so we can see what they're doing, but they're always just stepping back and just saying, look, you want to take ground, you take ground, it's no problem. And then Geekay, I think, have got so much opportunity and so many things to do that players are stepping into what they assume is empty ground, being shot by someone on an off angle, and again, it's just like one after one after one after one. And probably in that early round there, the change in pace of the previous 2 was being willing to go aggressive early, whereas in the previous rounds we've remarked, playing quite passive, playing those off angles, just letting Geekay come to them. So we've got to see a bit more composure on the attacking side, I think. Where Geekay really have shone throughout the tournament for me has been on that defense, has been getting aggressive, chaining kills together extremely quickly, and just like rushing over teams before they can do anything. Lost are not even giving them any opportunity to do that on this defensive side.
That's exactly it. They just don't need to play into it. They can just, and I think that's what we're seeing from that tactical timeout. You know, you've got players there, you've got Noodle saying, look, we're doing nothing in the mid-round, and it's kind of like, Geekay have got this plan going, oh, we haven't surprised them, we haven't got those entries, like, what now? And it's, as I say, it's not a criticism of Geekay, really. As you know, they've got 2 players that have come in, joined recently. You know, it takes time. It takes an awful lot of time to build those, you know, those alternatives, those secondary, those backup strategies where you can say, oh, right, actually, they're playing in this way. We can't dislodge this player. Right, we go to plan 3, where we're actually going to take this and we're going to, you know, move them out in that fashion. And I just think, you know, and this is why, as the tournament goes on, that's going to get found out more and more.
Yeah, I mean, the issue Geekay will have here, it's the map Oregon. The design of it doesn't give you that freedom as an individual player to be able to do too much. People know it, and as I say, Brazil is so good at it. They know every sort of in and out, every trick in the book that you can really play. Lost will have scrimmed this 1,000 times against some of the best Oregon teams in the world, FaZe, Liquid, etc. And all you then need to do is just play your book, play your game, read the reactions, sort of analyze in the round, pretty much. That's all the teams are having to do right now is Lost. And Geekay, as Noodle said, we have no mid-round solving. We have no mid-round adaptability. But the problem is, it's because they want to do something crazy, want to do something funky. And their solution is, okay, well, stuff this game, let's just try and go for sight. Well, you can't do that. Okay, let's try and play it slower. Let's play for the execute. Well, Loss already got that covered. They're playing for that. They know that. And because you haven't drilled that 1,000 times, it's hard. Hashom getting the opening pick here, though, is massive. Now they have freezer control. If Geekay can now just keep pressing the tempo here, don't slow it down, keep pushing for the bomb site, they might be able to make something. Really late reinforcement to Dash. If Hashom has pushed all the way to freezer door here, this could be really, really big. He can split the bomb site in half.
Oh, that's exactly where he is. He's on the shield, but Myers found him. He's got the answer. Not quite going to be what they wanted. I know Trix was alone inside a big tower as well, but this split play, it's catching Geekay out time and time again. Cameraman's also managed to get himself K off towards the top side. It's just all falling apart once again, I'm afraid, Titan.
I mean, no info game at all, it seems, from Geekay. How Cameraman has been allowed to stay in meeting, they know that. They knew the setup from last round. He's just hiding in a corner.
And that's just about consistency because, you know, for the kill onto Lobin, they had great information. They had Hashom going down freezer, the drone, we saw it straight in front of him. Bang, he reacts, he gets the kill. But then elsewhere in the map, they're not delivering the same principles. And the problem is as well, they're going up against a team that, you know, the players have been around a little bit, but look at who's the IGL. You've got a Cameraman there. He's one of the most experienced players at the whole tournament. He's not going to be caught out by, you know, simple things. He's going to make life difficult for you.
Geekay at this point will be looking for 2 rounds. That's all they're going to want.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably will take 1, to be honest, and hope and bank that their defense Oregon half can be strong enough. And that's the saving grace for them. Oregon is such a defender-sided map, even in the current meta, even the way that the game is played. But it's going to be so hard for them because the way you lose rounds is a massive factor as well. And as Dash here with the C4 goes onto Noodle, Noodle shoots it out. Now can he win his 1v1? And he does.
That's big.
Another one.
No way. He gets went
Surely not
on as well.
Oh,
no, he
no
doesn't. For a second, though, you started to believe that the duo of Noodle and Leader might pull it off, but Loss up 4-0. Even if that round was slightly improved, it's still nowhere near enough.
Yeah. It's hard. It's so hard for Geekay. They can't find openings. Even when they do, they don't seem to have the confidence as they had earlier in the tournament. Hashom, I think, a couple of days ago, would have just gone for that. Absolutely sent it. Freezer door, get straight into the bomb site. Yep. Exactly. But now they're hetating. They're worrying almost. They're questioning themselves. They need to just relax again, go back to what they believe in, which is just basic fundamentals, basic metagaming. That's it. And then just add the tempo that they have, their craziness.
It's like they've overtuned a little bit, because I know the remark that we had about them when they were playing super well and stomping over teams was sometimes they do push it a little bit too far. And I think about one round when they were in like a 4 versus, I think it was a 4v3. Hashom gets a kill in labs, this is inside of sight, and then pushes into electric looking for a second and loses his life. And it's a bit like you've just put your team into a 4 versus 2, but you feel the need to go and find that second kill. What I hope hasn't happened is Geekay have looked into that sort of thing and gone, okay, boys, we've got to control this a little bit better now, play a bit closer after we get a kill, be willing to fall back. Because it does feel a little bit hesitant, a little bit doubtful. You know, am I making the right play here? Is this going to fight the right one to go for? And before you know it, you've been beamed by someone from an off angle on the side of Loss. So it doesn't look like the Geekay that we have seen previously. It hasn't got that same bite.
Let's see then in round 5 whether Geekay can bring that explosiveness that we've seen from them previously, whether they can find their confidence. You feel like maybe it's just a hero play or 2 away and they'll be back into things, especially moving on to that defensive half. But for the time being, look at this. Lobin out there in Armory, just hassling them, not even letting them in the building at this point, let alone walk around it safely.
Which I don't hate, because it's going to cause a little bit of confusion on the other side, because for Geekay, again, they've got used in those first 2 rounds. They've been conditioned into playing into a very, very passive team, whereas now you've got Lobin last round, bottom freezer, trying to challenge Hashom really early, which fortunately Hashom won, and this round it's a similar story.
Noodle can't believe that there's nothing on White says here. He's got a free walk-up.
Going up and down.
He was double-checking himself. He's like, surely this is not the freest walk-up from my life. And it is. The problem that Geekay is going to have now, again, is hesitation. They're not going for these gaps. They're not actually taking a look at that. He's rotated off from the master balcony. And this is what I mean. Geekay this round is either going to try and play super-duper slow and methodical, which I think is what they're going to try and do, try to win it as a team and just make sure they get down to the last 30 seconds and just kind of like pray in quotation marks that their execute can be good enough.
No.
Oh, surely not. Surely not. Surely not. Oh, Lobin's got one. Oh, no.
And it's that jump out from Armory. We've been priming that for the last 45 seconds, and I thought earlier on there's no way he goes out this window, but he has gone for it. I mean, Hashom, when you give him a nice red marker over that body, there's no way he's going to miss his shot. Does get the trade, but it is that sledge taken offline. A couple of those frags that we spoke about that are going to be very, very few and far between in this game with the gridlock and the Finker ban.
I mean, 2 big impact players as well for Geekay this tournament has been Trix and XK, and neither of them right now can seem to activate into this game. The same thing as what we saw earlier with the BP game with Joystick. They're struggling so much, and that's the problem. Once you start to set into this little rut that you can have in a game, it's so hard to pull yourself out of it.
Okay.
And Dot
I mean, not quite the play. I know he was trying to surprise Hashom there, but or trying to surprise Dash, sorry, but he got away with it. Leader gets 2. They're pushing for the swing for a 2v1, and Leader just beams them both.
I mean,
Sorry, this is what we've seen from Geekay twice. Their best opportunities to win rounds have come from leader double kills. They can't rely on it, but they need to use it when it's there. You know, if he's gone and done that and he's swung the manpower back in their favour, this is now where Geekay have got to say, right, we've got the 3v2, let's have a 10-second pause. Where do we go from here? How do we hit them? And then work together in a coordinated way. They don't want to go in one at a time here.
And that's exactly what they're doing, but unfortunately, the push down through Attic onto one will be able to self-res, and Maya's not going to finish him off. Leader gets away with this? There is no way. He does get finished off in the end, but if he got that kill back, Maya would be absolutely kicking himself. It was a 3 versus 2. It's down to a 2v2. They're pushing in, trying to find what they can, but Maya simply will not be moved. Finds 2 in the final 2 versus 3. Trix gets 1 down. He's got to find Cameraman, who's dug in nice and close on the corner, sees the barrel, but Cameraman gets his kill.
Again, so close. 3v2. They have time to be able to rotate, time to add the pressure, send the guy to the big window, send the guy to the games breach. You can do your attic pressure as well. But they don't. They all just flood from one direction. Lost are just seeing that and they're just going, well, thank you very much. I'll play big window. I'll play there. I'll play inside of kids. I'll take this every day of the week. This is easy, basic siege that they're just failing to do right now.
We've also picked up on the information once or twice for Geekay. We've seen good periods of them using drones well. But we've seen examples like that into a frost map. You push in 3 versus 2, you need everybody on point, you need everybody coming in at the same time to challenge at the same time to guarantee the kills. Poof, you've got one person in a frost map.
It's like playing rank with you.
It's exactly like playing rank with me. Titan knows all too well about that. But yeah, it is.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah,
it must be so frustrating when you've had that double kill moment from leader, you've got yourself in that position, and then all of a sudden, bang, you're in a frost mat, and it's just those little fundamentals. If that's been drawn out, if you know that it's there, it's not a difficult frost mat to take out going down into pit. Let's be honest, you expect there to be a frost mat there. You know, it's Geekay, you're so close, but just that last bit.
There's one word for it, tempo as well. Geekay are doing things where, if they were accelerating the speed, for example, if they're doing that 3v2 and they're just then going for it, stuff it, we're just going to send it now for bomb site. Fine, take your positions that you have and just go crazy. But they're slowing it down so much. It's like they're like, okay, here we go, we're in 4th gear, we've just got a massive kill, and hit the handbrake. All right, let's go back into 1st gear, boys. Let's look here, let's take us careful, right? Can I look behind me? Can I look behind me? Yeah, right, I can back it up.
It seems like a confidence thing. Like you said, you know, Noodle identifying there's no gadgets, there's no utility on white stairs, there's no player there, there's maybe a little window. Let's look at W7M, who played fantastically in the first game. What would they have done there against VP? You'd have definitely had JV up those stairs, you know, walking into sight. And it's, you know, like you say, maybe just that confidence needs to come back online for them.
What I find a little bit interesting is just like a comment from Noodle, just to be able to say that like it's the same thing as what we had yesterday. I feel like they haven't actually let go of that loss in a sense and just gone again. No pun intended, by the way. But all they have to do is, again, Hasham opening kill here, lobbing with the easy pick, and this is the problem. It's solo play, solo play, solo play. I was going to say, we've seen it twice now. We've seen 2 different types, as I said. It's either going to be a hero play attempt or it's going to be a team-based attempt. Team-based attempt failed, hero play now started. XG, he gets one back, they get a little bit of top floor control. Have they got kids control as well? Yes, they have. So they can do the vertical now onto the bomb site. This is going to be a crucial round for Geekay. They have everything they want. 4v4, 1 minute 50 was on the clock when they had top floor control. This should be easy now to work on.
I don't know, man. I'm looking at dots playing around meeting and around green.
I was just watching exactly the same thing.
And I'm a little bit nervous.
Dealt with.
Way.
That's exactly what they needed there. Noodle able to pick up a big kill. We could see that Dots was off in meeting. Green corridor potentially going to be a thorn in the side of GK when they came to that push, but they've identified it. Information game that I've questioned once or twice. They've used it. They've got the kill, and that gives them a good advantage. 4v3, vertical pressure as well. They're able to start potentially sending some nades in. GK have everything they need here to get themselves that first round. This is sort of step 2 done. They now need to think about prepping for step 3. How do they get into a position to put that diffuser down?
They need to get more pressure onto the bomb site. Right now, Lost are reading this. They see that it's a top floor take. They realise what's going to go on. It's going for a kitchen take. They've still got the guy, though, outside. Jake is outside. Sorry, Leader is outside by small tower door. He could be the winning factor here. It seems either Lost have forgotten about him or they're not trying to focus on him right now to be able to create something else.
They were checking earlier on. You had Cameraman poking his nose out and constantly checking, but it's the damage that he can do, like you say, if he goes unchecked. You got Maya and you've got Lobin potentially both able to take a 2v1 here if he doesn't get this backstab off.
Maya's heard him. He's ready for this gunfight. He needs to win this gunfight. If Jake can win this, GK have such an easy free round. But he's baiting it. He's baiting both of the players, and it's given them a gap to now plant. XKey is getting it down. He's got the cover from meeting. He's got the cover from vertical. Noodle from behind him. He's still got tricks above. 4v2 post plant. 3v2. Can Lost recover this?
Maybe not at this point as well. I mean, with the 2 versus 3 to do, feels a little bit difficult here. If they play for trades, at least if GK play this sensibly, this round is done and dusted. But Maya, he's looking in for his man. He knows that he's behind the bookcase, but he couldn't read that play very well. Noodle into a 3K in the round. Lobin's retaking top floor, but he's got 2 players to deal with only about 15 seconds to go, Tim.
Not much chance of him closing this one out. As you say, 1v2 needs time as well, doesn't have it. That is a huge round from Noodle. Not only does he pick up dots in the mid-round, and this is where they were saying the problems were, in the mid-round, we're not doing anything. Noodle recognises a problem, deals with it, then gets 2 important kills in the post plant, creates leader creating space to get the diffuser down. Much, much better from GK.
Exactly. It's not a team solution there. I said it. It's going to be an individual that needs to step up for the team and say, right, boys, we are not losing anymore. We want to win this game. I'm going to show you guys the way forward. Noodle has just done that. He's given his team the 4K. He got the picks in the mid-round. He kept getting the picks. He covers the planter. He gets the opening. He's there at the end as well to kill the last 2 guys that are trying to retake. He is the man of the moment right there. He is saying to GK, guys, we can still win this. We've got to pull it back now. Now we're on defense half. We got the 1 round. That's what you want. What was also genius in that round was leader. Brilliant from him. The backstab pressure, we spoke about it. But then to smoke and then rotate out. He's ready for it. He's going to help his teammate. And Noodle, brilliant individual round. That
Noodle kill onto the Kaid of dots was absolutely brilliant and just prevented potentially a Nitro coming in underneath the vertical work that they were doing. So real essential stuff from Noodle. But also, I've always thought as well, you know, if you're going to win 1 defensive round, if you've got to have a 5-1 half, sorry, if you're going to win 1 attack, you've got to have a 5-1 half, win round 6. Win round 6 and take that momentum, take that little bit of confidence forward now. GK can play their game. They're on defense, they get to set up, they get to choose where these engagements happen to a degree, and now they can start to sort of dig their foot in, put it against the wall and start to push back.
Really got to see some more of these players step up though. I know we keep on speaking about them, but Trix and K, for example. Yes?
Why is there a smoke top floor?
Why not? He's not running FMG, is he? No.
No.
He's
on his little venture. Look at him.
I mean, this day and age, you have like 1 speeds roaming around the map as well. Somehow a smoke suddenly doesn't feel like such a far removed thing, but obviously losing those 3 smokes so early on would be disastrous.
Yeah, I mean, he's in a really sort of like, he's not isolated in a sense because he's got teammates controlling lob, and he's also got his teammate on tower stairs, so they're ready to help him. But it is a bit of a risk.
That's it. I mean, he's played through that link. He's got Noodle supporting him as the Jaeger. Lobin is going to pick up tricks, though, to kick things off, and that could be big. It does start to open up the way a little bit through bunker, but GK do well. They step into the breach. They don't allow them to take any more ground. Lobin is forced back. He's going to be heading to rear stage stairs instead.
Tricks should not be going down here. C4 in the back pocket as well. You're on the mirror. Like, your job is to be this anchor. Again, 1 speed. Not particularly a go-to roamer or someone looking for early gunfights, but Lobin has just marched up on the Ana and found a freebie. A little bit of a kicker. And now Noodle, I think you'll find out, is getting droned out any second now. Lobin really starting to poke his nose down big tower stairs. Elsewhere, there's a little bit of slow action and gathering starting to go around, meeting itself, but it's very much this north-sided setup so far from Loss.
I mean, tactically here, Loss have just done a very basic clear. That's all they've done. Lobin found his gap in blue. He realized that the guy wasn't holding him. He pushes in. He wins his 1v1. That's all it is. He pulls out. Very smart. Now his team has got the 5v4. Now they can do what they want for execute. They got flashbangs. They got Ying. They got forage drones. They've got grenades still on the board. They have everything. They could choose what they want to do. I think, realistically, what we're looking at here is there's going to be a little bit of backside pressure. There's going to be some simple front side pressure a little bit, and then they're going to use the Ying onto probably the meeting hatch, and then they're just going to flood from every single position, try to take the bomb site. If the bomb goes down, the bomb goes down. If it doesn't, who gives a damn? That's the way that Lost will look at this, but they're going to play predominantly for the kills. As you can see, spread positions. Maya's probably going to go down Freezer. You got them off Maverick will. One of them will with flashbang. 2 guys on the hatch, and you got somebody inside of Big Tower holding that, which is Lobin. He'll probably backstab at the end.
Leader on his army then just trying to give GK some opportunity to hold on, give them some additional cover.
There's a massive change here. Dots has gone outside of blue. They're going to overwhelm blue and laundry. They're going to leave the meeting hatch as a bait. They've done all this pressure. They're trying to bait GK now into reacting into the wrong positions. And what you can see here, they're going to have to be careful. Dots outside of blue with Lobin. Now they're pushing in into elbow.
Noodle has no idea. He's got past in there. Sees the gun a little bit late. Not before 1 kill has come on through. But it's leader yet again. Can this man start walking 2Ks in this game? Hashon gets himself a couple as well. GK start the defensive half the way they should. should.
What a recovery. 3v5 that was. It was really lucky that Noodle survives there whilst full flash in the corner, but it's what GK need. A bit of momentum. It's as you said, Tim. Once you get that one round, it's a little bit of a deflating the bubble and the balloon a little bit for loss at the end of that round. And now they're going to go, damn, 5v3? We should have had that. We had every single position. Split execute. We had laundry. We had freezer. We had meeting hatch. We came through blue. We took elbow control. How do we lose this, boys? You lose it, and this is the thing that teams forget. GK's mechanical ability on these players are so, so strong. What I will say, Trix needs to step up, because right now, opening death a lot, and he's doing nearly a James Bond.
Well, I was going to mention that for both Key and for Trix. You know, 1 and 14 between them. Yeah, Trix has been one of the driving forces for this team throughout the competition. Him alongside of Sham has been an absolute terror so many times over, and that's only a coach's reaction you could possibly imagine.
How does he lose that gunfight on elbow? Why is he playing it so passively as well? He's scared. And this is the issue. For some of these players, when it comes to their big first international event, have they got the confidence, the courage inside of them to be able to take it through?
And Lost need to recognise that. You know, basically you're on top of them right now. Yep. Even though they've won a couple of rounds, they've still got that little bit of hesitance in them. But every round that they win, every gunfight that they win is going to change that. Is going to bring them more out onto the front foot. We will likely see players like Trix start to warm up into it a little bit and think, actually, no, you know, we don't need to be afraid here. We can take these. It's 5-2, it's 5-3, it's 5-4, and Lost, they need to get this one done, and that's such an important factor for teams in winning tournaments, is closing games out. Don't allow teams back into it.
There's going to be a really explosive execute here. You got the Blitz again, you got the Yamaru. Yamaru's going to probably either take big tower control and then try to backstab, or more likely come in through Kid's window. You can see the one guy on Master balcony, the Blitz by himself.
Here we go.
Got to go in for it now. I've seen this a couple of times before, but he's straight in, but Trix is there and ready. They hear the EE1D and they have the answer. Dot's inside the game as well.
Dot's in the middle of the bomb site. Blitz going for deep. This is huge now. Can Trix win the 1v1? He's got blinded. No, he can't. They have site control now to Lost. What can GK do? Noodle gets one back. Leader still has attic control, but Dash killing Noodle now. They're having to retake the bomb site. This is so hard to do as a defending team. The bomb is going down as well. What can they do?
Trophy and attic are the only ways they can push through. Sham's rounding his way in towards game as well. I mean, Leader's been dealt with at this point. It's a 1 versus 3. If anyone could do it, Hisham can, but Dash not going to give him even an inch on that push up top. White, it looks far too easy.
So smart from Lost.
Lost basically doing exactly what I said I wanted them to, which was recognise we're not letting them back into this. We've still got them playing on the back foot. Let's now just really kick it up a gear, if anything, and get aggressive, get up in their faces, bring the Blitz, just really cause them a problem, and Maru in everything we can, and it paid dividends.
Just hit them with everything. Absolutely. Full artillery barrage. Let's go, boys. And they recognised it. They realised that GK were playing off-site. Lots of bodies off, and all it requires is 1-1. This one here that Dots wins against XKE, that's big, that's massive. And then to be able to get the second one as well and have site control, I mean, at that point, that was already round over. It didn't matter this was a 3v4. Who cared about that? They had site control that game. That was done and dusted.
LeVar Dots finds himself at 13 and 3 now inside these 8 rounds.
Absolutely flying.
Even give him a pistol, he'll still manage to walk through a 2K by the looks of it, Tim. And fair to say, it isn't the GK that we've been used to seeing. Maybe G2, it might turns out Titan were the ones who've really made them start doubting themselves.
Maybe. I mean, we do like to crush people's hopes a little bit. So, you know, once again, we like to destroy a few region streams.
Well, you're doing a great job so far, mate. That's why you're here on the broadcast. So for GK, with the way it's going, Lost would qualify up and get that also spot into playoffs, or into finals, sorry. GK would have to go down to that 2-2 bracket tomorrow and play a best of 3 to make it through to those finals. It's not done and dusted just yet, but you do start to get the sense that for GK, this hill is just too big to climb.
Brazil having a fantastic day so far today then. W7M already going through. Trix managing to get the opener as well. He did get the entry in the last round. It didn't translate into a round win for them, but it's a great start nonetheless. The Soul is picking one up, just using that gadget as well to identify where the rest of this push could potentially be coming from.
All Lost are going to want to do here, just take basic master control. They can take everything they want. They've got the Osa as well, which allows them to have 2 options. They can either rotate it to big window late round to add extra pressure, or more likely they're just going to funnel it through trophy and through the game's breach. They can get the bomb down. Life is easy for them. Yes, they're 4v5. Yes, Trix are still downstairs, but they still have what they need to be able to get rid of this and open the wall. The problem, the slight issue they're going to have, is if Trix can get another pick here, especially to Maya, who's now walking up the armory stairs, this is not so great, I don't think, from Trix. He's staying below. He's waiting for them to take full control. He wants to lurk on the execute. yes, great, but I'm not sure if they'd actually want to do that.
This is it. They just really haven't identified, and it could well come back to bite them. I think it's probably going to very soon. Although Maya just paying a little bit of attention over his shoulder. Although I don't think, as I say, it's in direct response to the knowledge that they've still got Trix lurking downstairs. Trix, it's all going to be about timing for Trix right now. He doesn't want to go too soon. He needs to have a little bit of luck when he comes around that corner. He wants his opportunity, but no, he's left it too late, more than likely. Lobin is going to apply an air jab. Are they?
There's already one there, yeah.
There we go. They found him. That is what was needed, and Trix just needed to go a little bit sooner.
And this is what I meant. He needed to take the chance to take the 5v3. You don't need to try and leave this to be some sort of hero at the end of the round. When you can guarantee almost that pick that he had, take it. Leader there using the C4. They have so little going for them now, Geekay. They're going to lose the entirety of site, or like get pushed out of games, most likely. They shoot off their own aces because they got a thermite charge. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, makes more sense. Yeah, a much bigger hole coming right up. Obviously, much more expletive is the line that Thermite used, but we'll keep it nice and PG at least for now. Wall has been opened up, as you say, and not a lot to play behind. A few impacts maybe to make use of here, but really that's only good for trying to deal with the Oster, and given how Dots have been playing so far, that is going to be no easy feat.
There will come a point at this moment where Lost do need to push forward. They do need to aggress, and those first couple of gunfights are going to be important. Asham's underneath at the minute. 2 impacts in hand, could potentially deny, but he is going to need information from his team cameraman. He's going to be opening up attic and applying pressure from multiple sides now, but Lost are running out of time. That's going to be the big factor. 20 seconds, and here we go. Dots goes in and manages to down one, but Noodle there for the trade. Leader finds another. Cameraman pushes in, however, with the trade from Attic. 3 versus 2 now. The advantage is for GK. Lobin still has diffuser in hand, but there's little chance of him putting it down. With 4 seconds, surely GK can hold off. Asham gets taken down on wide stairs, though. Lobin, he might have the opportunity he needs if the cover's there, but no! Noodle once again comes up big, picks up cameraman on the cover, prevents the diffuser going down, and that is going to be another round for GK. Holding on.
He is him today. Noodle is refusing to die. He will not give up without a fight. That last attacking round, a 4K, again, there, 3 or 4 piece, I think once more for him. He is the player that is saying, guys, we're not losing. I will carry you. I will take you to victory.
I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. Is it enough, though? Is it enough?
That's the problem, right? I know Leaders also had a good couple of kills, but that didn't prove to be enough. You know, double kills galore in that first half, it felt like, coming out of him. And really that round there, for a second, I thought Lost had done enough. But as you say, Noodle is just being the hero.
Yeah. I think they just left it a little bit too late, and they kind of had 20 seconds, and it was like, right, we've kind of got 80% of what we want. We've just got to go for this. And I always say this, it's such a difficult site to attack onto if you've only got 20 seconds and you're fighting into even 3 defenders. Yeah. It's such a difficult site to attack onto.
The big thing there, Lost never managed to get control of Trophy properly because of the pit holes, and I think Leaders actually impacted to be able to actually clear the Osa out of the position there, or at least push the player that was holding it back. The result of that, they managed to hold on to Pit for longer than they should. Yes, cameraman did all his bait pressure, etc., and they did manage to take site control. But because of all of that extra rotation, and because of their difficulty to get rid of the player from Pit, they executed with, what, 10 seconds left?
Yeah.
It just wasn't enough.
The one thing I do really want to point out that we can't all forget is for GK, their loss was the first one they've had in such a long time. We spoke a lot about, what, a 20-match win streak, like nationally or something? Losing hasn't been a thing for them, and that's why I think as we come into this game, you've seen them start slower. Sure, Noodle's still very much switched on. He's used to losing. He's been on Heroic, for example. But here's Key, right up at the... Oh my lord! He saw him for so long and still couldn't get away with it. Lobin finds himself 2, gets back downside here. Noodle at least has started a bit of a recovery, but that could be the death knell sounding for GK.
Oh dear, oh dear. This
he'll be lamenting that for weeks.
That's just... That just takes them into your sales a little bit.
I mean, it really does. You look at that and, you know, losing your smoke, losing the Toxic Babe canisters. I think he had SMG in hand as well. I'm looking at that and thinking, you're 3 feet away, get your shot out and just blast around the corner, you know? Yeah. But one way or another, great reactions from Lobin to say that, you know, he didn't necessarily know the push was coming. Might have been a little bit of an audio cue for him that something was happening, but it is a perfect start for Lost. They need one more round to take them into the live stages here in Atlanta, and they've just gone a long way towards finding it.
Lost still have everything they need as well. They've still got a Maverick, they've still got Heartbreach gadgets, they still have Osa as well, so they can push if they want to down the hatch, they can push launches. Again, without Osa, they can do so much in terms of just holding onto position, taking it, applying the pressure, and just saying, right, okay, now this is ours, good luck, defender, you got to take this back. And with the Capital as well, they just have, again, even more utility to execute with.
I mean, I love Capital. I always say it, like one of my favourite operators in the game as well. The Heartbreach gadget is the secondary. So much primary utility to make use of. Semi-decent gun, extremely fast. Brings so much to a lineup. And I'm just thinking here with you, like they've got 2 smokes to play behind, 2 fire to force areas of the map to really open things up for the Osa to step on through, all packed into one operator's back pocket. So for me, I'm keeping a close eye on cameraman here and watching what his contribution is when this execute does come in.
Oh, what's really interesting, actually, I just noticed, Leader has 5 of his armies left, so a retake of certain positions is definitely possible, and it's also when closing off that like electric side door. Here they go, with the Osa down the freezer side. They got a guy going laundry, they're going to have one guy hit on the backside.
Cameraman's got to go.
Massive impact there, that could be big.
Leader just removing that Talon shield and the utility and maybe making it a little bit more difficult for the play into Freezer. In fact, Lost have actually dipped back onto the stairs for the time being. They're not too confident necessarily in committing to this. Dots is going to rotate down and instead try to apply pressure from Laundry, which sort of plays onto that angle, though. The Leader's already a step ahead of this. He's already put the Kiba barricade out.
The double push here, they're making the play now inside of Freezer, and Leader wins 1 and 2, and he's won the round, surely, for his team right now.
You'd hope so, but in comes the march on forward. Still 2 versus 2, only 10 seconds to go, so all the pressure is on the LATAM side. Noodles found a man shot in the back. That's Diffuser down. Last one's in behind the Kiba barrier.
Oh,
but Noodle
beautiful.
and Leader will not die.
The EU imports, the British boys, they do not give up. They are here and they want to stay. They want to make that main stage.
Wow. Absolutely balmy. It's a couple of times now where you're seeing Lost. It's the frayed ends of the rope here where things haven't been drawn to a close, and GK are capitalising on it. Tim, this could be one hell of a comeback.
I just love watching that speed of thought from Leader there. You've got him in behind the mirror window. He's got a double push coming down Freezer stairs. He sends the impact nade out basically as the Talon shield is being deployed. He already knows that that's going to go down, so that's dealt with. But then turns around and applies a Kiba barricade, not only that works for Noodle to be able to challenge into Freezer with a little bit of cover, but also gives him the protection from Laundry. It's kind of like he's got that sixth sense and he's like, I know you're going to rotate down there. I know you're going to try and apply some pressure from there as well. Leader just big brain in it and finding the kills. Noodle doubling up on it, and a great round from GK, so much so that it's thrown Lost straight into attack timeout.
I mean, as I highlighted, those 5 Kiba barriers, it's so rare that you see that saved to the late round. He was ready for either a backside push that he could block off the electric door, keep wasting time there, or he said, stuff it, I'll hold on to this mirror window if you want to go Freezer side. I will be the man that holds this position. And honestly, it's a bit of a back to the wall effort right now from GK. It's a bit of a Rorke's drift, but they're going for it.
You've seen it a couple of times now where Coach Norris on Lost is just like, calm down, calm down. Like, sure, they're playing it slow, but I can imagine things are getting a little bit frustrated, a little bit agitated in the team comms, because now you've seen a few rounds where it felt like Lost. I mean, look at the round prior to that one. They were in a 3 versus 2, still lost the round. Here, they had everything, as you say, on side that they needed to get this done and still couldn't complete. But we keep on coming back to them. Noodle and Leader, absolute hit.
Sort of 10 rounds that we played don't matter either. We just care about this one round in front of us, and that's what you're going to see here. It's going to be any little special pocket play that they have, any special execute, they're going to look to make this almost, to an extent, the theoretical perfect round.
I'm half surprised not to see a Monty coming along. It feels like that round where you just stick the shield in the mix. Let's see if we can just force in and create a little bit of space. I mean, you know, we've spoken at length there about the mental side of things and the preparation. GK potentially as well. There's an element of we've got to go to our third choice side. You know, this is not straightforward for us, and that's something else that they're going to have to contend with. So they are going to be defending meeting. We're back into the game. GK, they have to hold on. No more mistakes. 2 more rounds. They still have another lifeline tomorrow. If they lose here, they have a best of 3 tomorrow, which will decide one way or another whether they make it through to the live stages in Atlanta. But Lost, they will certainly want to get this sealed here and now. It's going to be a bit of top floor control.
Because Titan's with us. This needs to go to 12 so you can say the line, and then go to 15 so you can say the other line.
Titan's just excited about hearing the line.
Earlier on, he was like, I get a front row seat of like all the screaming, the shouting. I was like, yeah. And I was like, Tim's loud, as he found out.
I need my first experience. I need my first experience of the line.
IRL. We're going all the way. It's what we need. All right, then. Let's get the march on, as you say.
So pretty default lineup here from Lost. Nothing too fancy, as we said that they might do. But I think what they're just going to look for is what we said before. It's just a default lineup, basic stuff, but do the basics well. Do your attack well. Apply your pressure. You got Cameraman outside of blue. You got Dash inside of Armory right now. You got Dots. They're looking like they're going to take top floor here, a lost one, or at least they're going to try and pressure upstairs to try and lock the players up there. The other two players, I see them as small tower side. Yes, they are. Lobbin has managed to take control of the tower side. And then they're just going to look to squeeze gently. They're taking their time. They're going to be patient. I don't expect to see anything quick out of Loss, which might also be their downfall at the end.
It's probably been the summary of this game for them, as it has been quite slow. And I won't say leisurely, because it's been a bit of a battle these last few rounds especially, but it has been quite composed.
He failed to get rid of the mute jammer. Small thing, but again, it's now somebody else has to come and get the utility to get rid of it. Things like this, tiny details, just a little bit more time. That's 10 seconds out the clock.
The problem is they don't have anybody with anything to clear it, unless they've got another Gon 6 in hand, because they've managed to get the job done. I'd be interested to see where it came from, because there's no nades. Ah, the bug underneath, of course. 5 versus 3 though. SK and Noodle managed to find one apiece. Maya is fighting back, taking down Leader, but there are a number of names that are starting to get hot here. Lobin finds one onto Trix, but the trade is there immediately. Geekay can play the attrition game now.
And this is what I spoke about. It could be a mental reset for some players. For XKE, it clearly has. 2-0, 2 big kills there. He's going for the flank. He's refound his confidence. He's got big tower control once more. He can be a thorn in the side of Lost One. They've left a flank cam, but still, he can put that flank down, because somebody's going to have to cover the planter if they want to go for it. Otherwise, they're having to play for kills. Huge impact from Noodle. Oh, no, from Hashom, sorry.
I don't think he's going to realise just how much damage he's done there as well. Now Maya's gone down as well, completely inattentive to the hatch itself. Tim, at the very least, we're guaranteeing ourselves 12. GK, what a comeback this is turning into.
And this was always going to be the problem for Lost. GK now with 3 rounds in a row, and you saw the response from the players at the end there. The voices are up. They've found their confidence. The energy is high now. Lost, by contrast, they're thinking, we've not been able to get this done in 3 rounds. We've even lost the 3rd choice site. They're going back to a primary site now. And if we don't get this, we've got 3 more rounds. It's a roll of the dice right now for Lost. Their position at the Atlanta Major is hanging in front of them, and whether they can claim it or not.
Yeah, and the issue is, it wasn't even close, realistically. That was a very poor round from Loss, and that's something that you kind of want to at least have. Like, at least if you get to a close round, you go, oh, okay, right, we nearly got there, boys. But when you're battered like that, you're like, damn, okay, we fumbled top, we fumbled basement, we've just been destroyed and slapped on the 3rd bomb site. All right, we're going again to top floor, and as we can see here, replay. XKE, huge round. There's a massive kill there on tower stairs. It prevents the backstabber, and this kill as well onto dining. He was ready for the guy that was backstabbing, ready for the guy that was going to the dining control. And Maya... Oh! No way! Maya. No way!
Unfortunate. But this he was him that round.
Yeah, he was. And this is the thing. That's huge for GK. Yeah. Noodle was having a great game. Hashom was having an average game. Jake, Leader, was also having a very good game.
Just call him Jake. Look, Titan, we get it. You know
players.
Honestly. Next thing you know, tell us that he's been calling Virtue like Jake all this time.
Oh, massive kill here from Cameraman. No, he's with the gunfight. You can't be losing that, surely.
No, why are you turning away? No. Down as well. Oh my God, he's found a second. Is that what they need? Cameraman, when you need him most, has come up big.
And that's what experience will do for you. He's not going to be rattled by missing a couple of shots. He knows he's still alive. He's still got his gun in his hand. He's still there with a position to win the fight. Dots, after such good play, can't manage to find the man inside of Master. Nitro comes out, and it's just close enough. Geekay holding on somehow.
I thought he almost got Maya then as well, but Maya was quick to get away from things. If that was a double C4 kill, that suddenly completely transformed this round.
What is this round? It's just absolute chaos. Loss have just said, stop it. We're just going to go back to the fasting. Maya gets XKE finally. It's a 4v2 in Loss's favor. Surely you don't lose this now. Trix, careful with the big window player here. Be careful. If he gets this pick, it goes back into GK. Loses it. That is round done and dusted.
I mean, surely in a 4v2, Lost here with 100 seconds left in this round. Have got all the time in the world to get back on the drones they've still got in pocket. 5 of them to play with. They can sniff out these final 2 players. They can make a play and close this out. Easy as 1, 2, and 3. but given how this half has gone, it's just not guaranteed, is it?
The time is the big factor here. If there was any side in Siege and you said to me, right, we need you to hold on to something 2 versus 4, I'd fancy Dorms, because if you can get somebody, you know, stuck on either side, you prevent them coming in through trophy, you prevent the white stairs pressure, you can hold on to this site for a long time. But a minute and 45 is just too much, surely. But Lost need to be careful that they don't give away too many of those seconds.
This is the important thing as well. It's the seconds and also a pick. A pick here takes us into a 3v2 is massive. No information left, and Trixie dies. I was going to say, it's a massive round for him.
Hasham, you sneaky boy! Finds one, he's got Diffuser here as well. If he wins the long-range gunfight, he's got a 2v1 to win though here. Trophy and Attic both playing against him. Love this being popped up, season player, but can't find him! Lost! Stealing away in round 12, but it felt like Geekay were onto one hell of a comeback.
For a minute there, when Hasham puts the keeper barricade out, I thought he might just be able to do this, but you got to